Mind Your Language is a British sitcom that debuted on ITV back in 1977. London Weekend Television was behind its production, and Stuart Allen served as the director. LWT aired 3 series from 1977 to 1979, and there was a brief revival in 1985. Though most ITV regions saw this series in 1986, 6 of the original cast members returned for this revival. The show depicts the interaction among individuals from various countries, each with their own social backgrounds, religions, and languages, all sharing the same classroom. So take a seat and get ready to be captivated as we embark on this journey down memory lane. Let's delve into the enchanting universe of Mind Your Language and uncover the incredible tales of its unforgettable ensemble. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of Mind Your Language, 1977, cast then and now, 2024. Get ready to be entertained and enlightened as we reveal the untold narratives of the cast members. Let's commence our voyage together. 1. Ricardo Montez as Juan Cervantes. Juan Cantes, a cheerful Spanish Catholic bartender with a positive attitude. Juan often finds humor in himself, remaining confident in his responses, even when they're completely the off base. At the beginning of the series, Juan speaks very little English, aside from an inspector calls, where he praises Miss Courtney as plenty, awesome, very good, and typically responds with poor favory. And Italian has many mutually intelligent words. Originally named Levi Isaac Attias, he was born on September 23, 1923 in Gibraltar to Jewish parents. During World War II, he and his family were evacuated to England. Upon returning home, he held various jobs, including working as an extra in films filmed in Gibraltar. While appearing in the British film Wonderful Things 1958, the actor Frankie Vaughan convinced him to move to London and pursue acting, which he did in 1962, adopting the name Ricardo Montez. At Vaughan's suggestion, Montez resided in Richmond, London, and made biannual visits to Gibraltar. He wed Oravita Hatchwell in 1953, and they had a daughter, Clara, and a granddaughter. Sarah Mons passed away from cancer at his daughter's residence in Mara, Spain, on October 26, 2010, at the age of 87. 2. George Camiller as Giovanni Capello. Giovanni Capello, a classic Italian-British Catholic chef, serves as the class's representative and unofficial monitor. He shares a close bond with Max, who later becomes his roommate. Giovanni's main struggle with English lies in grasping metaphors and lengthy words. Although he often intentionally provides incorrect answers to amuse his classmates, he frequently addresses Mr. Brown as Professori. When startled or taken aback, he tends to exclaim phrases like Santa Maria, hoops, Ada, daisy, okay, cochi, buonasera, or holy ravioli. His apologies are typically accompanied by scusi Italian for I'm sorry. Giovanni boasts an extensive array of first names: Giovanni, Vincento, Marco, Dino, Alberto, Leonardo, and so on. Occasionally, his surname is spelled Cupello in the closing credits. Additionally, he has appeared in various films and television series. 3. Albert Moses as Ranit Singh. Ranit Singh, a Sikh employee of the London Underground, hailing from Punjab, India. In the series premiere, Mr. Brown mistakenly identifies him as Pakistani when asking him to sit beside his fellow countryman, Ali Nadeem. Despite possessing a good vocabulary, he occasionally confuses his general knowledge, and upon correction, he humbly places his hands together and utters 1,000 apologies. His acting career began in the 1960s in India, where he starred in numerous Bollywood films before transitioning to production and direction. After India, he relocated to Africa, where he contributed to documentary filmmaking. He delivered notable performances in various theatrical productions, including Freeway at the National Theatre Fedra, Britannica, alongside Dame Dina Rigg, and Long March to Jerusalem at Watford Theatre. Additionally, he served as a protesser for 13 episodes of Mind Your Language. His final on-screen appearance was in The Snarling 2018, paying homage to his role in An American Werewolf in London 1981. The Snarling is dedicated in his honor. 4. Jamila Massey as Jamila Ranja. Jamila Ranja, a typey Indian homemaker from Shimla. Upon joining the class, she struggles with English, initially responding in Hindi. When Mr. Brown inquires about her name, eventually comprehending, she inscribes her name on the blackboard in Urdu due to her inability to write in English. Her career commenced as an extra, with her first film role in Sin the Bismarck 1960, where she was enlisted to translate and relay a news segment from the film into Urdu, announcing the sinking of the British battleship HMS Hood. She extensively contributed to radio broadcasts in English, Urdu, Hindi, and Punjabi, including the German service of the BBC. In later years, she starred in Tribunal, a ZDF television series in German, alongside prominent European actors active in the Afro-Asian Committee of Equity. She maintained her involvement in film television. In addition to her acting pursuits, Massey collaborated on several books with her spouse author Reginald Massey. Among them was a novel titled The Immigrants, drawing from their field research among first-generation Asians in Britain. Massey made a guest appearance on Coronation Street in February 2010, portraying one of Sunita's aunts. Currently, Massey and her husband reside in Lane Ells, Wales. 5. Robert Lay as Taro Nagazumi. Robert Lee portrayed Taro Nagazumi, a Japanese electronics executive representing the London branch of the fictional Japanese electronics company, Bushido Electronics. He communicates fluently in English, but often adds "o" to nearly every word he utters, such as "then oh, England, oh and so forth, England, oh and so forth," and consistently responds with a "so" while bowing whenever addressed. Hailing from Tianjin, he ventured to England as an international student, earning a BA in history from Trinity College, Cambridge. Following his studies, he worked at both a Chinese and Japanese restaurant before friends encouraged him to pursue acting. In 1944, Lee assumed supporting roles in numerous films and television productions spanning the 1960s, 1970s, and 1980s, frequently cast whenever a project required an East Asian character. Preferring a solitary lifestyle, he deemed marriage as too much responsibility. In a 1984 interview, Lee resided in a flat in Hampstead, North London, where he passed away following 2 years of declining health on December 1, 1986, at the age of 73. 6. Iris Sadler as Gladys. Iris Sadler portrayed Gladys, the cheerful tea lady who frequents the school cafeteria. Commonly known as Gladys the Tea Lady, she embodies a lively and amiable persona, despite being in her 70s. In the third series, it's disclosed that she is a widow. Gladys shares a warm rapport with both Sydney and Mr. Brown. She often playfully teases Mr. Brown and occasionally reports on. Miss Courtney Sadler passed away on January 12, 1991, in Wellingborough, England, UK. 7. Françoise Pascal as Danielle Favre. Danielle Favre, a flirtatious young French Catholic nanny who quickly captures the attention of all the men, including Mr. Brown. Her striking appearance often distracts Giovanni and Max from their studies, while Mr. Brown finds himself in compromising situations with her reciprocating her strong attraction. She becomes upset when Ingrid joins the class, sparking a rivalry for Mr. Brown's affections. Her early film credits include Norman J. Warren's Loving Feeling and Pete Walker's School for Sex, both 1969, as well as a cameo in Incense for the Damned, 1970. Additionally, she portrayed Paula in There's a Girl in My Soup, 1970, alongside Peter Sears, and appeared in Burke and Hare 1972 as Marie and Soft Beds, Hard Battles, 197. 4. Another film featuring Sellers. In 2015, Pascal joined the ensemble cast of a new sitcom titled For the Love of Ella. The show also featured Jan Massintosh, Bobby Ball, Alex Reed, Daniel Peacock, Melanie Sykes, Darren Day, and Billy Pierce. Pascal is slated to star in and produce her debut film, Cold Sun, directed by Jason Figas and featuring Tara Reid, Patrick Bergman, and Ian Ogie, under her production companies, MFC Productions, Ltd. and Pascal Productions, Ltd. 8. Zara Nutley as Miss Courtney. Dolores Courtney, the strict, authoritative head mistress of the school. Miss Courtney harbors a strong aversion toward males, believing women to be superior, and she prefers female teachers. She is reluctant to hire Mr. Brown, but reluctantly agrees to a month-long trial. She enjoys making unannounced visits to the English classroom to assess Mr. Brown's students' progress, often leaving dissatisfied. In her youth, she attempted to run away from home, but was apprehended and sent back by her father. Nutley was born in Cornwall in 1924, the daughter of Stanley Jaber and Gladys Gregory, who wed in 1923. Early in her career, she participated in amateur stage productions and later joined repertory theater. In the 1950s, she studied and later taught at the Florence Moore Drama Studio in HVE, Sussex. Before 1977, she was credited under various names, such as Zara or Zara Jaber. Nutley passed away at the age of 92 in Yuckfield, East Sussex, on October 9, 2016. 9. Tommy Godfrey as Sid. Tommy Godfrey portrayed Sidney, the school janitor, a gruff, mischievous Londoner in his 60s who communicates in rhyming slang. While Miss Courtney addresses him formally, everyone else simply calls him Sid. He harbors resentment towards his longtime companion and marks their anniversary by wearing a black tie. Despite not being legally married to her, despite his unmarried status, he frequently refers to her as his wife. He struggles with hearing loss, leading to frequent misunderstandings. Born in London, he began his career as a tap dancer in variety shows, performing as part of the trio Godfrey, Randall, and Dean. Later, he transitioned to solo comedy and often portrayed leading male characters in pantomimes. He passed away from natural causes on June 24, 1984, in London, England. UK 10. Pik-Sen Lim as Chung Sui Chung Mian portrayed Ling, a typical Chinese communist woman serving as a secretary at the Chinese embassy. She's always seen clutching her little red book of Mao, often reciting quotes from it and frequently confusing her R and L sounds. Initially, she engages in heated ideological debates with Taro, her Japanese classmate, but later in the series, he becomes protective of her, rushing to her defense when she or China is insulted. When Mr. Brown mentions Mao, he responds, "That's a matter of opinion." In 1964, she made an appearance in the medical drama series Emergency Ward 10, portraying a nurse. It was there that she met scriptwriter Don Aitken, whom she married in 1968. Their daughter, Lily Aitken, followed in their footsteps as an actress. The mother-daughter duo once played characters with a similar relationship in 3000 Twists of Fate. Lily also starred in an episode of the Doctor Who spin-off series, The Sarah Jane Adventures, titled The Curse of Clyde Langer. In 1966, she was invited to participate as Rye Fox in the Rye Bonfire festivities. This role involved being seated in a sedan chair, lifted above the crowd, and paraded from the land gate in Rye to the bonfire, where she ceremoniously ignited it with a burning torch. 11. Kevork Malikyan as Maximilian Papandreas. Maximos Andreas Aristodemo Papadopoulos, a typical Greek Orthodox employee at a shipping agency hailing from Athens, often paired with Giovanni. Like Giovanni, he is smitten with Danielle initially, but as the series unfolds, the trio forms a close bond. Max has a tendency to misinterpret metaphors and struggle with long words. Malikyan made his television debut in an episode of the British historical drama The Portrait of a Lady in 1968, portraying the role of a servant. Throughout the late 1960s, Malikyan appeared in various television shows, including Doctor Who, The Saint, and The Avengers. His breakthrough came in the British film The Man Who Haunted Himself in 1970, starring Roger Moore, where he portrayed Luigi, the butler of the Pelham family. 2 years later, Malikyan featured in the epic biblical film Exodus: Gods and Kings, playing the role of Jethro, directed by Ridley Scott. The film was based on the Book of Exodus. Malikyan tied the knot with Maida Kellan in Kensington, London, in 1965. They share a daughter, Sonia, and a son, Seyon. Currently, Malikyan serves as an educator in Istanbul. 12. Anna Bergman as Ingrid Zenson. Anna Bergman portrays Ingrid Venson, a Swedish au pair who enters the class at the start of Series 2. She's attractive and openly expresses her interest in Mr. Brown, sparking a competition between her and Danielle Favre. Her primary struggle with English lies in word order, often jumbling up words such as you for I question answer. She switches schools by the conclusion of Series 2, but makes a comeback in the independently produced Series 4. Bergman predominantly featured as an actress in numerous British adult comedies in the late 1970s, including Penelope Pulls It Off, 1975, Adventures of a Taxi Driver, 1976, Intimate Games, 1976, Come Play With Me, 1977, and What's Up, Superdoc, 1978. She also starred as Penny in the 1977 adult spy comedy Agent 69 in The Sign of Scorpio, also known as Emmanuel in Denmark, and its 1978 Sekue, Agent 69 in The Sign of Sagittarius, also known as More Danish Blue. 13. Barry Evans as Jeremy Brown. Jeremy Brown, the English as a foreign language instructor and central figure throughout much of the series. He's a kind-hearted, sincere, single man in his 30s who resides alone, aside from his Siamese cat, Josephine, whom he referenced in the examination, and holds a Bachelor of Arts degree from Oxford University. He was employed in Series 1, Episode 1, Pilot, where he was cautioned that the students had driven the previous teacher mad, challenging but often frustrated by the students' imaginative interpretations of the English language. One of his early film appearances was in Clive Donner's movie Here We Go Round, The Mulberry Bush, 1968, where he portrayed Jimmy McGregor, a teenager struggling to lose his virginity. Photoplay magazine hailed Evans as a bright and thrilling new actor, while the Sunday Telegraph praised his screen debut as exceptional. Towards the latter part of the 1980s, Evans's youthful appearance became a hindrance, making it challenging for him to secure mature acting roles befitting his age. His final role was as Bizarre in the 1993 film adaptation of The Mystery of Edwin Drood. By the mid-1990s, Evans was employed as a tax driver in Lear. In February 1997, authorities discovered Evans's body in his residence after visiting to inform him that they had recovered his stolen vehicle, which had been reported missing the day before. The cause of his demise remains unconfirmed. The coroner identified a head injury on Evans and also detected elevated alcohol levels in his system. 14. Dino Shafeek as Ali Nadim. Dino Shafeek portrayed Pr Ali Nadim, a Muslim hailing from Lahore, Pakistan. Religious and cultural disparities often lead to clashes. With Rangat, he emerges as one of the most diligent and sincere students in the class, occasionally landing both him and Mr. Brown in trouble. Formerly employed at the Taj Mahal Tandoori restaurant in Putney, he found himself jobless at the series' outset, but later secured a position as a traveling salesman. Shafeek and Gaj engaged in amateur theater in Dhaka before immigrating to England in 1958, where he enrolled at the Guildhall School of Music and Drama. His inaugural film appearance was as Akbar in The Long Duel, 1967, alongside Hugh Brynner. It Ain't Half Hot Mum, a BBC comedy series penned by Jimmy Perry and David Croft, creators of Dad's Army. Set against the backdrop of World War II, British India, the show chronicles the escapades of a concert party troupe linked to the Royal Artillery. Aired by the BBC from 1974 to 1981, it starred Windsor Davies as the troop staff sergeant major stationed in Dial-e Bombay Presidency. Shafeek assumed character roles in various films and TV shows, such as Carry On, Emmanuel Minder, Special Branch, and The Wen Line. His final performance was in High Road to China, starring Tom Selleck. Shafeek passed away suddenly from a heart attack while at home in London with his fiancée, Leslie Didcock, on Tin Allard, March 1984, 11 days before his 54th birthday. And that wraps up our journey through the lives of the cast of Mind, Your Language. It's been a nostalgic and enlightening experience, revisiting the memorable characters and talented actors who brought them to life. We remember each member of the cast with fondness and gratitude for the laughter and memories they gave us. May their legacy live on in the hearts of fans everywhere. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Until next time, take care.